So 11th class, good morning all of you. And today we are going to study the tuples chapter. Okay. Already we have started it, but I'm continuing with more concepts. I'm going with tuple. Let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So when I print it, the tuple get printed. The very simple concept, how to initialize and print the tuple, right? Now, as we have already studied about the list, and we know the concept that lists are mutable in nature, means we can change in place, right? Suppose I have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I print the list get printed. Now I try to change any element at any index. I want to assign the new value to the element lying at index 3. I can easily do it. Check it. But if I try to do assignment in the case of tuple, it will indicate error. Like I say, T of 2, T is the tuple. You can see I have already created tuple above. T of 2 equal to 6. See, Python raises an error. Why this happens? This is because of the simple reason that tuples are immutable in nature and lists are mutable in nature. Because lists are mutable in nature, you can change in place. But since tuples are immutable in nature, you cannot change in place. So assignment is not possible in the case of tuple. But there is one very indirect way by which you can do assignment in the tuple. You can change value in the tuple, but a very indirect way that we will study later. Okay. So like list, like strings, tuples are also having indexing, right? Forward indexing plus the backward indexing. Am I clear to all? Forward indexing as well as the backward indexing. This feature is similar to your string. This is similar to your list, right? Clear? So if I want to print the element of tuple, I can easily print it. Tuple of 1, T of 1. What is lying at T of 1? 2. You can see this tuple. Okay, got it? Am I clear up till here, all of you? You can print the entire tuple using the print function. Now suppose I have one tuple 1, 2, 3, 4. I have another tuple T1 whose value is 5, 6, 7. I try to perform concatenation operation. I try to perform the concatenation operation. Now concatenation already you have done in the case of list and string, right? Concatenation means joining two sequences together. But while you perform the concatenation operation, it is vitally important that both the operands must be of same type. That is same sequence. Like T plus T1. T is also a tuple. T1 is also a tuple. So concatenation, that is the joining of two tuples, is possible. So you get this desired result. But if you try to concatenate tuple with any integer, you try to concatenate tuple with any integer, that may result in error. That will result in error because as per the rules, both the operands must be of same type. Then secondly, you try to concatenate tuple with the list. You try to concatenate tuple with the list. That is also not possible because both the operands are not of the same type. The same rule applies to strings. The same rule applies to list. Am I clear to all up till here? Then let us go with the next operation. That is the operation of replication. Replication we denoted by product symbol, that is the asterisk. Replication means the object get repeated by the given number of times. By given number of times, okay? So that means if we have tuple equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am giving tuple into 2. Tuple into 2. So tuple will get repeated twice. Tuple will get repeated twice, right? Here the condition is that both the operands must not be of the same type. One operand must be sequence. One operand must be a sequence plus one must be an integer. Okay. Now, if you say tuple into tuple, you cannot replicate two tuples together. You cannot replicate two tuples together. So Python will raise an error over here. Got it? Am I clear? Similarly, you cannot replicate tuple with the list. That is also an error. While performing the replication, it is very much important that one operand must be integer and one must be a sequence. Clear? Am I clear to all? Okay. Now, let us go with more concepts of tuple, which we can perform in list and strings also. That is comparing tuples. How we can make comparison in tuples, right? Like I have a tuple A and I have the value 1, 2, 3, right? Then I have tuple B and I am having value 4 and 5 and 6. Using the relational operators, I want to create comparisons between the two tuples. A equal to B. False. The elements of A tuple are not equivalent to elements of B tuple, so they are not equal. Okay. Am I clear to all? A more than B. Again false. B more than A. B comma A. Am I audible, class? All right. So I say B more than A. True. Compare the elements of B tuple with elements of A tuple. But obvious B is more than A. Right? Am I clear to all? Then we can go with some membership operator. 1 in A. True. 1 in A means the one element, it exists inside the tuple or not. And see the A tuple, one element is there. One element is there. Then you can say 4 in B. Is a 4 element existing in B? Yes. So the answer is true. Then I say 6 not in A. 6 not in A. True, because 6 element does not exist in A. 7 in A. 7 is not in A, but I am asking 7 in A कि वो 7 होना चाहिए. So it will result in false. Am I clear to all? Up till here, am I clear totally? All right. Now, let us go through the different methods that we can apply on tuple. Some methods are common with the list. Okay. So one by one, we'll be studying all the methods that we can apply on the tuple. Right. So I am taking one example over here. P equal to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is the tuple which I have taken. Okay. My first method is length method. The length of tuple is 7. Length method to applicable to all, to string, to list, to tuple, as well as to dictionary also. So length is the common method between all the sequence objects. Then from the similar tuple, let us I create one more tuple. T1 equal to 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, 10, 15, 12, 28, 4. Okay. I say minimum element to be find from tuple, min function. The same min function, the same max function you applied on list also, the same you can apply on tuple. So what I am doing over here, I am checking out the minimum element from the tuple by using the min function. Okay, am I clear? So my answer will be 1. You can see the tuple and then you can yourself chalk out that 1 stands as the minimum element in the tuple. Taking the same tuple as an example, I say max T1. Now, but obvious, you know, if min function is used to find the minimum element, max function will be used to find the maximum element in the tuple. Right? So it will print 28 because in the given tuple, 28 is the highest value. Now, next method which I take is sum method, equivalent to the list method. Now, sum method will automatically calculate all the values in the given tuple. All the values in the given tuple. That means 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 10, so on till 4. So result is 86. Result is 86. Clear to all? All right. Now moving further, the next method that we have in tuple is index method. Now, what is the role of index method? Index method is similar to the index method of list. That is, it returns the index of particular element. Like I say T1 dot index of 3. Now this is the element 3 and its index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The index is 4. Okay. T1 dot index of 4, the last element. Its index is 9. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What if you try to find the index of an element which does not exist in the tuple? You say T1 dot index bracket 20. You are trying to find the index of element 20, but 20 does not exist in the given tuple. So Python raises an error. And what error is being raised? Value error. Tuple index of x, x not in tuple. Clear? Am I clear up till here to all of you? Now, the next method is count method. I take one more example to make count method more clear. Similar to the count method of list, count method is used to count the occurrence of any particular element in the object. That one element is being repeated how many number of times? Like I say T1 dot count bracket 2. I want to count the occurrence of 2. The result will be 4 because 2 is occurring 4 times. 2 is occurring 4 times. Am I clear? I try to find the occurrence of 5. 5 is occurring only one time. I try to find the occurrence of such an element which does not exist in the tuple. So by default, Python will display 0. Python will display 0. Am I clear to all? All right. Now next method is sorted method. Listen one concept very carefully. When we are working on list, we have two methods, sort and sorted. But in tuple, only sorted method is works. Only sorted method works in the tuple. Now, what is sorted method? We pass one tuple as a parameter inside the sorted method. Okay. And it returns a new tuple which is sorted. Clear? Like I have a tuple T1 equal to 5, 4, 3, 1, 6, 2. And I pass this tuple T1 inside the sorted method as a parameter, right? And I assign the result to a new tuple R. When I print R, it will be printed in the form of list. Remember this point. The result given by the sorted method will always be in form of list. And it is sorted. Now the same thing, if you want, right now the sorted order is ascending. By default, the order is ascending. If you want to sort the tuple in decreasing order, that is the descending order, so we say S equal to sorted T1 comma reverse equal to true. Am I clear? And I print the S, check it out. Check the result. So up till now, if all the concepts are clear, please raise your thumb once again so that I can make out how many are attentive totally in the lecture. Japanjot and Prabdeep Kaur. All right. So next method that we all right. So the next method is tuple method. Just we have list method that is used to create the list from any given object. Similarly, you have a tuple method with which you can create tuple from any sequence of values. Basically, tuple method and list method, they work as constructor method. Constructor means to construct, to create. They create the object from some different object. Okay, like suppose I want to create empty tuple. So I say tuple method with empty brackets. This will create an empty tuple. Okay. Now I say S equal to tuple method bracket hello. And I print S. You see the string hello has been converted into form of tuple. Each character of hello string has been converted to individual element of tuple enclosed in single quotes. Am I clear to all? Now you can create tuple from the list also. For example, that I have a list L equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are creating tuple from the list. So I pass this list as the parameter inside the tuple method and I print the X. See, the list L has been converted to tuple. Right? So this was the use of tuple method. Clear? Now, the next concept which I want to tell you today is the concept of packing and unpacking. Packing and unpacking of tuples. Just in the beginning, I told you that assignment is not possible in tuple, it is possible in list. But there is one indirect manner, indirect way by which you can assign the element, you can change the element in tuple, but a very indirect way. What is packing? I take one example to explain you the role of packing. I have a tuple T and I am giving the values 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is packing. This is called packing. Creating the tuples from individual elements. So all these elements I have collected together. I separated them by comma. I enclosed them in the pair of parentheses and I created the tuple. I pack them as a tuple. Okay. Now, how many variables are there? There are six elements. 6 elements in the tuple. Okay. Now see what I do. I take 6 variables. Right? And I assign values to all these 6 variables. I think, yeah, these are 6 variables. Okay. I assign each variable a particular value from the tuple. A will get value 11. B will get value 12. C will get value 13. D will get value 14. E will get value 15. and F will get value 16. This is called unpacking. Now, when you print these elements, they will get individual elements of tuple. I just show it to you by running this simple program. Tuples packing. Okay. Now I run it. Check it. Please check the result, all of you. The result is in front of you. First, original tuple get printed. Then all the elements of tuple are being assigned to separate variables by unpacking process, and each individual element, each individual variable to whom tuple values are assigned will take corresponding values, right? I just show the coding again to you people. A will get first value, second variable will get second value, third variable will get third value, so on. But one very important condition must be there, which has to be taken care of. How many variables to be taken here on the left side? The number of variables to be taken should be equivalent to the number of elements residing in the tuple. If there are 6 elements, you will take 6 variables. If there are 5 elements, you will take 5 variables. If there are 4 elements, you will take 4 variables. So it is correlated. I hope the point is clear to everyone in the lecture. What I want to say. All right. Now see next change which I'm going to do. I change the value of B variable. I make it 17. I change the value of the B variable and I make it 17. After doing this change, what I did, I again create a tuple from these variables. Okay. New tuple after change. Check it out. This was the original tuple. This tuple after change. Earlier B was 12. Now B is 17. Have you noticed? This is how indirectly you can make assignment in the tuple. First you pack the tuple, then you unpack the tuple. While unpacking, you can change the desired variable. I show the coding. While doing the unpacking, you can change the desired variable. You can update the variable with the new value, and again you do the packing. Again you do the packing and you will get the change tuple with the modified value over here. Am I clear to all? Now this was the first method, the indirect method, how you can make assignment in the tuple. Second method, method number 2. You make the list out of your tuple, like L equal to list method, and convert your tuple into list. Okay. Print list, print L. तो ये देखिए आपके टपल की लिस्ट बन गई. Your tuple has been changed to list. Okay, am I clear to all up till here? Now what you do, list of third element, you provide the new value 20. You provide a new value 20 to the third element of list, right? And you print the list again. Check it out. The third value, which was 14 in the list, 14 in the tuple, now it has been modified to 20. Now it has been modified into 20. Am I clear up till here? Okay. Now the last operation. Once you have done this assignment, create tuple again from the change list. New tuple. Newly modified tuple. T equal to tuple method. Now use the tuple method and pass your list as a parameter inside the tuple method and create the tuple and print the tuple. See the new tuple with the change value. This was the original tuple. This is the modified tuple. Is the concept clear to everyone? So in two ways, you can make assignment or modify the element of tuple. But remember, these are very indirect methods. Directly, you cannot make the assignment because tuple is immutable, right? Now, I create one simple program over here. Or I make another copy of it. Tuple print. I create one tuple t equal to 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. Okay. And I take the for loop for I in range length of tuple up till the length of tuple and print t of I. The simple program to print the elements of tuple. Okay. Check it. The simplest program to print the elements of tuple. Right? Am I clear? 11th class concept is totally clear. All right, beta.